players with 1 and 0 records will play each other. People with 0 and 1 records will play each other, and that'll continue. In the next round, people with 2 and 0 records will play each other. People with 0 and 2 records will play each other, and people with 1 and 1 records will play each other, and that continues progressively. Day 2, stream 1. Day 3. Trying to get my. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm trying to get my iPad set up so I can read my chat line and so forth. Now, as many of you viewers know, I like to make the commentary kind of an interactive process with all of the viewers. So I'll be monitoring the chat line. So if you have questions, comments, suggestions, critiques, you want to hear your name heard on air, you want to wish your wife a happy birthday, whatever, throw it up at me. If you've got any, some people may be putting in positions or transcribing or so forth, and I follow that, and those types of contributions will be much appreciated. So anyway, on this first round stream 1 here, we have a fantastic pairing. Victor Ashkenazi, who's arguably one of the top 5 players in the world. He'll take exception to me using the word arguably. And in fact, here in Chicago so far, in the 40-player Faster Masters tournament, Victor is in the finals. In the 48-player Masters tournament, Victor is one of 3 players remaining. So so he's on quite a run. I think he's 8-0 here in the Chicago tournament so far. So, and he wants to try to continue that. Obviously, Jeb Horton from Charlotte, North Carolina, extremely good player in his own right. Former director of the Charlotte tournaments. He's on the USBGF board. Still directs some tournaments occasionally. He'll be directing the tournament in Jamaica in February. So an accomplished, experienced player himself. So this should be an entertaining and good match. Jeb is at the bottom of your screen playing the yellow checkers. Victor at the top playing black checkers on your player cam. Victor is on the left and Jeb is on the right. So here we go. Good match to these two gentlemen. Tapio, welcome. Take my glasses off so it's a little easier to read my iPad here. Okay, so. Wait. Jeb is on the top. Let me go get Tara to straighten this out. Hang on.
She's asking for calls. We got the mixed our position.
Okay, Tara, they sat on the wrong sides of the table and she didn't catch it, so Tara will change the graphics. But Victor is on the bottom of the screen playing yellow. Jeb's on the top playing black. So Tara will get those graphics corrected here momentarily. Yes, Boris, we caught that. She has corrected that. So Victor's on the bottom, Jeb's on the top. Thank you for that contribution as well, Boris. I caught it about the time you did. As I was saying, with the Faster Masters and the Masters events, Victor is 8-0 so far the last couple of days. So he's on a tear, as we might expect for Okay. Nice early structural development by Victor, but Jeb has the advanced anchor as well. So he should be able to sustain this game for a bit. Now, on the other two streams, as I was saying on Ace Point YouTube channel, two more streams going on. On stream 2 is Ray Fogerlin and Keen Marin, and stream 3 is Chris Trencher and Greg Merriman. Now, Merriman is in the final 3 of the Masters event as well, so Greg is also having a very good week. And we're only halfway through the week. Okay, Victor taking a photo here. He's contemplating if that might have been a cube position. I just happened to notice it, and Boris noticed it on the chat line about the time I did. So no sweat. Yeah, we're off and running now. Oh, a lot crazy. Oh, somebody set up Jeb set up an overhead camera. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so Hussein is maybe doing the transcribing. Thank you, Hussein. Okay, here's the Victor doubling. Jeb, he's a bit behind in the race, but he's got the 3-point anchor. Victor's stripped on those 4 outfield points, so got a little bit of a difficulty bringing this home, and Jeb is developing, good home board on his side. So I think it was probably an appropriate double on Victor's behalf, an appropriate take on Jeb's behalf. 4-2, so going to make his preferred next point, which would be the 5. He hopes to make the 4 next time. Victor doesn't need a 6-4 and doesn't get a 6-4, so he wants to take away that fly shot that was exposed. And Jeb will try to fill that 4-point, and he does. And he's a little over-timed, but let's see what happens here. 3-1, so Victor, does he bring it in, or does he move to the 8 and slot the 3? He brings it in. Now he's got to select an ace. Going to play 6-5. Okay, so like I say, Jeb's a little bit over time, but going to say he needs to roll small, and roll small he does. So now Victor gets to got to clear these 3 outside points. Of course, the 10 can be cleared more easily because it's 7 pips away from the from Jeb's 3 anchor, and of course it needed to be because Victor rolled a 6-5, which were it in this position it is now, that would have resulted in a shot. Jeb rolls 5-3. Now he's got the hotel open and awaiting a visitor here. So let's see what happens with Victor's next shake. There's that 6-5 again. I just told you about that. And sure enough, he rolls the second one. Jeb has a 5 shot. He can roll a 4-1 or a 5. He rolls a 5. This is going to be... he can cash it. Does he play on? There's no downside for a roll or 2. Gammons are unlikely, but he's going to go ahead and send it. Victor drops it. 2-0. Jeb. Hello, Hannah. Millie. Okay. So, nice first game by Jeb. Victor he had 2 6-5s in a row, which he couldn't sustain without leaving a shot. And Jeb hit the shot. So that's the game we know and love. So, okay. Hello, Bud Backgammon from Santiago, Chile. Okay, Jeb's going to slide on that 5-point. There's kind of a battle over Jeb's 5-point right now. There, Victor hits the slot. (5-2) by Jeb. He'd probably come out to, I would come out to the 18 perhaps. He could even just go to the 20 and the 22, but he's going to come down to the 8. Okay, let's see, Victor. One makes the 9-point. Like I said a little bit earlier, it's going to be kind of interesting. Everyone is playing today and will be through at least the first 3 rounds. So I'm flying solo on the commentary, and I'm lonely in the viewing area here because everyone else is playing. So I have no guest commentators to attract. Nice 5-5 Victor. Hits that. Now, what's he do? He could make this, a second point enter if he would like. I suspect he may bring some checkers on around. He could, he's going to have a pretty good racing lead. He could go 23-13 and 20-15 perhaps. Okay, so he's going to take a photo, regroup. So that's the obvious forced first play. I'm with Casper. I'd extract all the back checkers, but Victor has a little bit different idea. He makes the second homeboard point. Jeb 5-4 gives him that 5 advanced anchor, which he's in this game for the long haul now. (6-3) for Victor. He can't clean him up. He could go to the 6, but he doesn't want to stack that checker there. He could go to the 14, which he chooses to do. Now, Jeb has a shot at both of those checkers, but he has a strip midpoint, so he has to sacrifice his midpoint were he to choose to hit one of those checkers given the opportunity, and Victor recognizes that. Victor, this is maybe cleaner. He can play with 1 blot, but he really doesn't want 6 checkers on his 6-point. I suspect he's going to end up going to the 14. And again, should Jeb opt to hit him with the opportunity, Jeb has to give up the midpoint, which is, again, something that he would prefer not to do. But it's like Victor keeps going back to this 9-point or 6-point, and he does. Again, doubtlessly he didn't like it, but decided that was his best option. Now Jeb's going to make his 5-point. Pretty good. I've noticed throughout this week, Victor has been very deliberate in his play in a sense of shaking. He'll almost use sometimes his entire delay, 12-second delay, just shaking. And it's like he's kind of envisioning what he might roll, what he might want, and how he might play it once the dice define themselves. 2-1, so he's going to Thinking of stepping up to the edge, which could allow him to jump out of this developing prime structure that Jeb's trying to put together. 5-2. I'm kind of suspecting Jeb's going to hit loose on the 3 and then find a 2, which may well be 11-9, and it is. Okay. Thank you, Alex. Good to see you here again, and doing some transcription and or just putting in certain positions, but that's most helpful on occasion. Okay. So Victor Dance, Jeb's contemplating sending it, and sends it. He does. Victor decides he can play this game. Jeb makes the 3-point, as he was a favorite to do. Another dance. Victor needs to not do that. No double by 131, according to Hussein. So obviously a very, very simple take. But I think two things come into play here. One, perhaps Jeb misjudged the position. I didn't think it was a terrible double by any means, but he, despite the relatively small lead, 2-0 lead in a 9-point match, he's also playing Victor Ashkenazi. And I don't care who you are, and this is not meant to demean Jeb in any way. Jeb's a fine player, but generally speaking, no one's going to outplay Victor Ashkenazi. So you have to try to push the envelope a bit sometimes, and perhaps that might have been in Jeb's mind with that cube. And to date, that's worked out fairly advantageous for him. Now here, I think he doesn't want Jeb, he's going to hit on the ace, twofold. One, he doesn't want it to escape. Second fold, it's kind of a tempo play. He takes, in Victor's next roll, even were he to come in, he doesn't have both rolls to play at his disposal to attack and further develop his board. Well, actually, I'm got it thinking backwards here. I'm still getting into good commentating form here. That was Victor's 5-1. So again, he has he wants to escape. He's got 3 or 4 things he's got to do. So he's got to choose between them. The 5-1, he could make the 3-point and hit on the 7. He could make the 3-point and step up to the 23. A number of options here, and he will take his time to look at each of them and determine what's the most viable here. 24-18 is best on XG double plus, according to Alex, and that is the play that Victor makes. And Jeb cannot hit that checker, so Victor hopes to be able to escape that or continue the escape, let's say. And in the meantime, he also needs to make his 3-point to keep from getting hit there. Jeb has the best 5-point board on the other side, so Victor can't afford to be hit here because of the strength of Jeb's board. Yeah. And this is obviously, as Hussein and Alex both tell us, this is certainly a no redouble. And that's several fold. One, Victor he's trailing, so that's an incentive to be a little more aggressive with the cube sometimes. But, he might do that with a center cube, but on a recube, the stakes are considerably higher. And, with the board that Jeb has over there, if he were to, say, Victor redoubles Jeb's takes and Jeb gets a shot at some point, and, there are gammons in the breeze here for both, but yeah, Hussein says Victor's only like 58% winning chances here. I can imagine that. If Alex says that if Victor, one of those on the 6 was actually had made the 3-point, that Victor makes it. It's a redouble take in that instance. But here, he can't recube at this point, so he's just going to have to play. Really needs to make the 3. Would like to safety that trailer and make the 3 at the same time. Can't do that. Now he can, he can make the 2-point. He can pick and pass, making the 3-point, which he chooses to do. There's now Jeb's probably going to go to the 20 because he has no timing. So he's probably going to go to the 20, and then the way he'll have that spare to run with at some point. So I think an obvious play. Victor taking a photo here. So again, he's going to, he's evaluating. He knows he's, on perhaps the cusp of a cube in certain regards, but I still yet don't think he's quite there for a recube. But Victor says I'm wrong, and I'll vote with Victor. And let's see what happens. Jebs takes it, and again, I'm not at all surprised by that. No redouble by 17 millipips, according to Hussein. So obviously, then it was it's not a bad cube by any stretch of the imagination, 017, but an easy take for Jeb. And of course, he scarfed that checker right up 6-3, so he's going to run on around. His only reasonable option, he could go there and step up. Okay, so he decides to do that. That way he's only playing with one blot. 2 or 7 to hit. And the 2 does hit. But there'll be return fly shots. So and just glancing over at Stream 2, I have another TV here next to me. Ray Fogerlund leads Keen Marin 4-1 in their match. I don't have visual access to Stream 3, where Greg Merriman and Chris Trencher are playing. Miroslav from Poland is back with us. Casper says 11 and 14, and I think that's that would be my choice. He gives a few more returns. So this is and he gets hit. This could hurt. I mean, if things really went south for Victor, this could be the match right here. He dances for a couple of rolls. Jeb picks up that second checker, closes out his board. Then Victor's heading to the house early as far as his first round goes. Yeah, I can see the dupes you're talking about, Alex. I was just really surprised by the play, but we shall see. Jeb needs that second checker as soon as possible, and that moving closer toward it would enable him to do that. Yeah, so now Jeb, he's going to at least bring one checker into range. Now he go to the, I think you go to the 13 here. If Victor dances once more, then this is bad news. Yeah, I'm with Alex. 2013 seems the obvious play to me, but Jeb's going to play a little more cautiously. Where I'm playing this more aggressively and trying to get to G, but he may get there anyway if Victor doesn't roll an ace. Okay, so Victor, Jeb, again, the only thing that hits is an ace. 11, now move it to the 13, which is where I thought he should have been on the last roll. But now if Victor doesn't roll an ace, then Jeb becomes a favorite to hit the second checker. And he does. So this is very likely, and he misses it. Okay, I'm going around to the 11. I'm going for the throat. The 9, I want the second checker. Now, he could play it to try to close out early, and that's apparently what he's going to do. And maybe this is best enhancing both the hitting possibilities and the closeout possibilities. How many opportunities does Jeb need here? Now he's and he has to, someone mentioned Casper, it's a 3-3 disaster. There's an ace deuce, which at least he gets in, but he can't hit anything. Now Jeb's going to attack that checker on the ace point. So he gets it, and then he's going to come around the corner, or should come around the corner. So this is going to be hit on the ace and play to the 11. Okay, so now Victor has to perform right here, or I think this match very likely is over. Doesn't do it. Okay, there's the 2, come out with the 6. He'll pick up the second checker. He may not even need the second checker to get a gammon, but I think he's going to take it. And makes the gammon that much more likely. Now he's going to try to be quite cautious and not leaving a shot. I don't think he can't eliminate the problem with a double 6 or any of the large doubles here. So he can play it where he can sustain a double 5, but he can't sustain a double 6. But I think this is the right play. 5-4. Now he's got to be careful. What does he do? I mean, he could pre-clear, but I'm not a real big fan of that at this point. I think I'm playing. That's my play right there. Okay, so barring 6-6-5-5, and he gets the 6-6. This, you're always hoping you get a 6-6. Then when you don't want a 6-6, you get it. Now Victor can get back into this game with a 5. Doesn't get it. So increasingly likely this game is over, or this game and match is over. It's cocked. Victor's in with 1. Now Jeb, no big sets. 4s, 5s, and 6s and 3s. Blot. 6s again. Getting worn out by double 6s when he doesn't want double 6s. Victor got to have a 3. Wrong 3. Got to have a... And now there's no blotting number. 6-1 off into the ace point. Victor's gammon match is over.
For all my luck,
And
before,